Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Snute and MaSa on Ulrena. There's our names. In the bottom left of Ulrena, we have the red Terran player, it is MaSa. And in the top left side of Ulrena, we have the blue Zerg player, it is Snute. Somebody pointed it out to me in the comments about a week ago that this map, if you look at it and kind of turn it sideways like this, looks like a Terran Marine. Like standing there with his legs here, and he kind of has his arms over his head. Maybe multiple arms, I don't know, with his mouth all open like roar. That's kind of his like crotch area. And this can be something to your imagination. But yeah, I can't look at this map the same way ever again twice, because that is a pretty fun observation there. Alright, so a TVZ for you today from two of the better players on planet Earth. MaSa, so good. Snute, so good and so fun to watch too. He's a very fun Zerg player. Some interesting combinations can come out from him. And compositions. Going for a hatch first, very standard opening, and to extractor, into spawning pool as soon as he can. Meanwhile, our Terran player is going for a barracks. He has the gas. Workers on the gas immediately. Look at that timing. Woo! MaSa knows what he's doing. Reaper going to come out here too. So unless the spawning pool is super late, and it's not, there it is from Snute. Should be able to handle the Reaper that comes out with really not too much problem. And here comes the SCV, going to do a quick scout first. So a bit of some prep work here for the Reaper. He knows there's nothing that can kill him. There's going to be workers out. The spawning pool is not anywhere near complete. It's not going to be able to kill him with queens or with lings, although getting here and finding an early pool would be worth it. You probably lose this SCV, but the scouting power of knowing your opponent went early pool is definitely something that you can use to your advantage. And throwing down the command center. So Overlord scouts that timing out too. It's definitely a 1 Rax expand. A reactor coming out, so it could be 2 Reapers. Or it could just be Marines. MaSa could be playing a little bit more defensively than you'd expect here. Indeed. I don't know. What is a sneaky SCV doing? Maybe going to throw up a bunker? Maybe could get a bunker. I don't know. I'm just saying. Marines coming out, so not pumping out Reapers. And yeah, just pretty much just macroing to his little heart's content here is MaSa. Speed coming up, a couple queens on the way for Snute. Neither player looking super interested in being very aggressive to this point. Double extractor here. Nope, I'm a liar. I thought that was an extractor. No, actually pulled his workers off gas. So Snute is not worried about gas income right now, which means he's not going for a crazy 2-base Roach Ravager timing. He would need that gas if that were the case. Instead, he's going to go ahead, kill that SCV, probably go for a third base here pretty darn quickly, and just get that worker count up to where he wants it to be. So a huge worker push, going for an additional third base, and then maybe playing more defense, and then going for a killing blow at that point. But Snute is not planning on being aggressive at all. He has a couple lings out. He is definitely getting speed, so he's not just relying on slow lings and queens for his base defense, as there are actually 4 Marines heading on up through the green snow of Ulrena. What is that stuff? It's like falling from the sky. Cannot look healthy at all. So Queen running away. 4 Marines can take down a Queen. Not necessarily 2 Queens, though. And yeah, taking some shots. That would hurt. That Queen's throwing spines, hitting you in the back. You're running. Blood spurting out. Save me, medevac. But there aren't any medevacs yet, so you can't even get healed. How amazing would it be in StarCraft 2 if wounded units actually did less damage than full health units? Because that's how it works in real life, right? You like take someone and rip their arm off. They're not necessarily going to be a very effective warrior. But these guys could be down to 1 hit point of health and just absolutely continue fighting like beasts and monsters forever and ever. Like that. This guy right here. You know he got shot or attacked in the face by a Zergling like 8 times. But yet he's going to sit here. He's still going to do his full 6 damage. Hop inside that bunker. Maybe the bunker helps him a little bit. But I think it could be interesting. I think it really would. It definitely helped Terran like, because they can heal. But I don't know how much the other races would appreciate that. Just because Zerg units do heal, but it takes them so long to do so. It's just kind of an overtime type thing, except for Mutos, which are fast. Anyway, you did see that Baneling Nest, right? Indeed you did. Baneling Nest, because you're a sharp-eyed watcher of StarCraft 2. So going for Banelings. We don't see that a lot in TVZ recently. It's kind of more of a Roach Ravager mid-game type push. And Tank Harass? What? Oops, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted either. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Be right back. And we're back. Okay, let's slow that down a little bit, though. Okay, so I pressed some wrong buttons, but we seem to be where we need to at this point. There we go. Picking up, running away. Man, I gotta stop doing stuff with fingers that aren't used to pressing those buttons. So it is going to be some tank harass here for MaSa. Going to try to do what he can do, but I don't know. These queen positionings are pretty darn good from Snute. He knows what's happening. Overlord scouting this stuff, too. Just trying to, I think, just keep Snute's attention. keep him from injecting as much as he wants to do. These Lings really want that tank, but no, MaSa's not going to let that happen for sure. He does drop it. Oh, actually dropping it here to try to kill the Lings that a little bit too aggressive and stick on this side. But nope, Snute not going to let that happen either. Both players APMs over 350 for MaSa, 250, 300 or so for Snute. And just trying to make things happen. Tank shot does kill a couple Lings. Pretty good. Pretty good. I saw Liberators in production. Where are they? Double Liberator production coming out, and 2 more as well. Committing to this to some level. Are there any Ravagers? There are definitely Queens. Definitely Queens. +1/+1 for the melee coming up. I guess that's for Banelings, for Lings, for Ultras eventually. Here come the Liberators with the setup. Run, Snute. Run for your life. Oh, losing a couple workers. 3 workers there. 4 workers. Nope, killing Larva. Oh, that's so bad for the Zerg too. Losing Larva. That's their production facility. Their production structures. The Lings are trying to find a good angle at which to attack here, but I don't know if they can. It's a pretty good spot that MaSa has managed to find. Oh, no. Eggs are getting destroyed. Lings are trying to be produced, but no, that's not going to happen. Lings going for a sneaky counterattack down to this area. They could probably deny that base, but meanwhile, this base is under complete lockdown. Spore Crawler now showing up about a minute too late in Snute's estimation, and the Lings going to kill these SCVs that are building refineries, maybe force cancels on the refineries themselves. A good run by here. Another good run by here attempt. The Lings are going after this tank. They're not going to be able to get it, though, but the refineries do end up falling. Liberators continuing to fly around with impunity, allowed to kill whatever they want to do. Another Liberator sets up on here, does have 2 kills as well, running those drones very quickly. That Liberator does fall, but these ones still hanging out, taking shots at Lings. Lings trying to sneak it up, try to kill a siege tank. No, gets the repair. Gets the clutch repair. Vikings killing Overlords in the air, too. Both players are taking casualties here. But it looks like MaSa's doing a little bit better than Snute is to this point. Another attempt here at a lockdown. And yes, killing 15 workers. Another Liberator ends up falling. This one taking some shots too, but Spore Crawler at the place a little bit too late. This guy's up to 13 kills. Spore Crawler getting shots off. Queens really want to kill that thing, but no. Not going to happen. The Liberator heads on out. It's 56 to 48 total harvesters. Snute. Snute is down. He's trying for another desperate Ling at counterattack here, sneaking along that right side. MaSa, again, not really ready for it. Has a lot of workers coming over here, too. If he loses those SCVs, it might be enough for Snute to come back in here. Vikings sniping down an Overlord. Another attempt here. Bam. Transfused there by Snute, and here come the Lings. Going to go after some more of these workers. There's a tank on the high ground, but it actually does a little bit more damage to the SCVs than you would expect there. So 7 SCVs killed, an 8th maybe going after this tank. Can it be lifted in time? I don't know. Oh no, the tank does end up falling. The Lings might force a liftoff on this orbital command, and they do. They force the liftoff here. So Ling counterattack might have helped Snute get back into this game. It's 55 to 69 workers. Getting this extractor would be nice, and he does manage to get the extractor, slowing down that gas income of his opponent. Very handy indeed. 4 workers in production at the same time for Snute. And going for that Hive Tech 2 and a 4th base. So Snute doesn't look any necessarily worse for the wear. He's at 78 to 57 harvesters. 78. Yeah, he basically said, yep, I lost a few workers there. I'm going to go ahead and harass my opponent, force them to pull back for some Lings, and then get 78 workers, and then my destruction will begin. Or hopefully not his own destruction, but the destruction of his opponent, I think is the goal there. MaSa heading up again, just these little, he hasn't really done a big concerted push yet. I'm not sure what he's planning on doing. It's a lot of Liberators, a lot of Vikings, and oh, okay, Thor, some more of a tech play. We've seen this recently on the channel. We've seen Terrorblazers go for a more tech play against their Zerg opponents. Look at this creep spread too from Snute. Insane. Broodlords coming up here for Snute too. Interesting choice. I like it. I like it. And cervical hooks. So Banelings into Broodlords into Corruptors. Depending on how big this anti-air play is here for MaSa, it could work out not super well. There are definitely Vikings in the air. Liberators too. Actually, where is that spire? There it is. Let's see if MaSa saw that one. He did see the spire coming up, but he doesn't know it's a greater spire. So here come some Lings and some Queens. Going to try to kill these tanks. Stab, 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 stab. Not able to do it. Not able to do it. Coming up with the air armada is MaSa. Corruptors in the air, though. Corruptors might be just waiting for this to happen. I'm not sure. Some Vipers getting mixed in here too. Not sure if Snute is ready for this or not, but he has to be. Corruptor count is looking pretty darn good. He has 3 more on the way, and those Vipers. Brood Lords incoming. +2 melee attack just about started here. Meanwhile, MaSa's going for Liberators, ship weapons, and plating. He's definitely going for this bio-air Terran play. Amazing. 4th base now coming up here for Snute. Or 5th base, rather. I apologize. That is definitely 5 queens trying to stab down these Hellions. Can they do it? Not before their creep tumors die, I'm afraid. Good transfuse there. Liberators come sneaking right on in. And trying to set up those defender mode circles to force away the Ling. The queens are trying to... trying to kill some Liberators, but too many circles. Too many circles. Run! Oh, one of them does get burned down by the Hellions. Reinforcing queens show up. A lot of queens here. For Snute, intriguing play. So a Queen Broodlord? Yes, it is. Queen Broodlord Corruptor. Haven't seen this for a long time, but the fact that MaSa has this base is super, super handy. It's really helping him quite a bit here, but it is pretty darn vulnerable to an Air Zerg army. I'm not sure. Snute has an idea this is here, but he's not entirely certain. Just the fact there's a missile turret there doesn't tell him everything, but it does give him a pretty good idea of what's going on. I'm not sure if he's going to do anything about it or if he's just going to hang out and try to defend with what's coming here. It looks like there is a fusion core coming up that could be for battle cruisers. It could be for the upgrade for Liberators on their range, on their defender mode circles. Another tank drop here, trying to do some stuff. Bam! Gets a shot off on the Queens. Queen response time, pretty darn good, though. Ooh, Queens on the low ground might be sneaking a little bit too close. A little bit too close. And Queens on the high ground, trying to kill that siege tank. Can they hit it, though? Kind of. Corruptor does manage to take down the medevac. Nope. Thought about it. Decided not to. Oh, man. Parasitic bombs being used. Pretty good splits in the end from MaSa, but a lot of damage being done to these Liberators as well. And the Corruptors come sneaking on in. Broodlord's coming in for reasons unknown. They're not very good against air, but man, what an absolutely hold there. Amazing hold there from Snute. Consume being used by the Vipers to get their energy up. 20 drones died. Where was that? Was that just down here? Must have just been down here with the Liberators that did manage to survive. So it's 68 to 78 total workers. A big old Hellion run by, though. Oh, boy. Goodbye, drones. You're all going to die as well. Some Hellions trying to do the same thing, but the ground army a little bit too big. 192 to 162 total supply. MaSa looking okay, but Snute totally maxed out. Ling's just trying to kill these Hellions. They don't care. They do not care at all who's attacking them. They don't care if these Hellions do extra damage versus them or not. Meanwhile, the attack is coming down on this side. And a lot of Corruptors being used on this air army. Vipers trying to get that parasitic bomb off. And is it there? Yes, there's the parasitic bomb. A whole lot of them actually slowly whittling down these Liberators and these Vikings. The Broodlords raining down fire, though. But is it enough? It might actually be enough here. Broodlords are killing Thors. That's not something you want to see as a Terran player at all. The Corruptors trying to find stuff to take down. They forcing a liftoff on that orbital command here, too. Not looking great. For MaSa, Corruptors are trying to whittle down this army. Pretty good stutter step micro, though, on the Vikings. Vipers are coming in for another round of parasitic bomb, if necessary, though. Broodlings are just everywhere on the ground. 196 to 87 total supply here. Broodlords, again, throwing down those Broodlings. Corruptors trying to snipe down Vikings while they're trying to snipe down the Broodlords. And Thor as well, trying to use that anti-air, but the Lings are right on top of the Thor. The Thor's trying to focus on these Lings. That's not what he wants to do. And the Thor ends up falling. Vipers coming, sneaking around again. Vikings taking huge shots from the Corruptors, doing a lot of damage there too. Holding the line are these units, are these Hellbats. But again, the Broodlords have been untouched. Untouched so far. Bases are completely ravaged. MaSa has nothing left. It is 34 to 78 total supply in production. More and more Lings, more and more Corruptors. For Snute, MaSa on his last legs here. The Corruptors, not many of them, but a lot of these Vikings are very, very low on health. Lings sneaking on into the main base here too, trying to kill tanks, but no, rebuffed. Rebuffed by Hellions and by Hellbats. Finally, the Queens show up to say hello. They're anti-air pretty darn good against these Vikings, using their transfuses too. The Broodlords can't decide quite where to go to attack. They decide to head on down this way. I don't know why, but working out thus far. This group of Vikings is pretty much what MaSa has left. He has more Vikings in production and more Liberators, but again, a 197 to 68 total supply look is not that great. Not that good. The Vikings trying to sneak on in here again and kill these Broodlords. He needs to do it, but the Queens turn around, and that's it. A GG from MaSa. MaSa is defeated, Snute is victorious, and MaSa has left the game. Well, that was crazy. I thought for sure Snute was dead. Snute was dead. Snute had lost so many workers to those Liberators. The Liberator harass just absolutely whittling down his worker count to nothing. He'd taken the gold base here, too, at MaSa. But Snute With one sneaky Ling run by here, absolutely managed to take out a ton of workers, force the attention of the army back towards MaSa's own front door, and allowed Snute to get up to 78 workers, expand a couple times, tech up to Broodlords, and call it good. I mean, MaSa was taken by surprise. I mean, he did have some Vipers mixed in. That's what he was doing anyway, but he didn't have the or Vikings, rather. Didn't have the number of Vikings that he should have had against Broodlords and against Corruptors, or Liberators, for that matter. Pretty darn good against Corruptors, too, in certain situations. But that was it. That was it for MaSa. Snute takes the win for Zerg today, and that's it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.